Hey guys, welcome to No Nonsense Wellness, where we talk all things GLP-1 wellness. So GLP-1s are Mounjaro, Ozempic, Zepbound, Wegovy, retatrutide, liraglutide, compounded versions of all these things, and there's many more.
How do you remember all
I don't because I missed a lot.
that?
Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit. We're switched over 1 year to a new year. I am very anti-New Year's resolutions. I was forced to make them as a child.
By who?
My dad. Both my parents are very sentimental. I'm not sentimental, but I like the idea of a new focus for the year.
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, what is your current status? How do you feel about, how do you feel about how 2024 went health-wise
I think
for you?
great. I think
Okay,
my cholesterol numbers are in a really good spot. My weight is right around that healthy BMI range. I know
Mhm.
BMI is not the best measure
No.
of whatever, but it also correlates with, you know, better longevity is what my Mochi doctor
And I
said.
also want to know what your specialty cholesterol doctor says.
Yeah, I have my appointment with her, I think, in sometime
Yeah.
August. I don't know, it's a while.
Okay,
It's
okay,
a
gotcha.
long checkup. I
But
think,
that's a good sign right
yeah.
there.
So, what my goals going forward are is not really additional weight loss because I'm happy with how I feel in my body right now, and I feel like I'm in a good spot. But I would like to. Um, so right now I'm about I float between 175 and 180,
Okay.
and I would like to continue to cut and bulk within that range. So I'm continuing to lose um, like fat, but replacing that with additional muscle gain.
So would you consider that to be in maintenance? Would you say 2025 I'm in maintenance or 2025 I am still working on my
I consider it maintenance in that I'm not as focused on the scale dropping
Okay.
because that's how I think I mentally thought of being on the GLP-1 journey. I'm not as focused on that. Now I'm more focused on how the shape and feel of my body and then how I'm putting on muscle and continuing to drop body fat.
Okay. So maybe a phase 2, but your medication, you're not trying to drop your medication down because now
No.
you're on maintenance or
Right.
anything like that. Yeah,
Right.
same for me. So do you have any, I mean, you have you actually have 2 trainers.
I do.
Which
But they serve different
they
purposes.
totally do. But
Um,
do you have any goals with either one of your trainers?
I think my goal with my kind of in-person sort of weightlifting trainer is to continue to work on one, my muscle weaknesses, because I
Mhm.
have certain weaknesses that are just congenital and that's kind of how they've been. And two, to continue to work on hypertrophy, which is, building a muscle bulk.
I feel like big muscles, not necessarily stronger,
Yeah.
but
But I
strength and
feel like I'm
support.
strong.
Yeah.
I'm not needing to move boulders. I have a desk job. But maybe I should move some boulders. Saw that one.
Your
Um,
arms are getting so big.
well, thank you. That's very kind of
Deal
you to
with me.
say. No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'll flex for the camera. I'm gonna keep this real.
I mean,
So I think that's the goal with my in-person trainer, and then my Zoom trainer is much more focused, I think, on um, just mobility, range of
alignment.
motion, alignment.
Mhm.
Not to say that there won't be workouts I have with her where I'm like feel the burn the next day. You still get a good workout, but it's very form focused. You're not lifting the heaviest weights you could possibly lift. None of that.
Mhm.
So I think it's continuing the journey of fixing the what you call the little weirdsies
Mhm.
of my body movement,
Mhm.
and then for the other trainer working on continuing to bulk up.
What about for food? Are you pretty happy just like I take the medication and I try to eat healthy?
So
Or do you
I've
have
definitely
food goals?
still focused on avoiding fattier foods. I think just I've gotten an aversion to that over the last year. And I
Mhm.
think when I still notice with the medication that even when I do, let's say eat some French fries or something, I'm not killing the whole bag. It'll be like a few. I'm like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
good. So there's still that satedness that exists that I still notice on the medication.
Mhm. Yeah, so would you if you were, like I said that I've noticed in the last couple of weeks wanting more junk, would you
I think I noticed it when we were at Disney.
yeah.
But I also had less medication in my system. And when I got
And
back, I
it's
took more.
also kind of
It's all
made for that. They're
that's
just
there.
pushing it on you.
It's not like there is a salad restaurant you can go
No,
to.
we ordered groceries there
We
and
did
we
have
did, yeah, have
some
some fresh
pizzas.
food. No, well, I had my
Yeah.
peas and edamame. Okay, and one more thing.
Yes.
Disney related.
Yes.
Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay. We're talking about running a marathon
Oh,
together, and
yeah.
you don't even know.
Well, I'm tired. It's okay.
Okay, so I bought a book that I read a long time ago because I used to run
What's the
long
book called?
distance. It's called Marathon.
Oh, that's fitting.
Yeah, who knew? I got it used because it's an old book, and you're welcome to read it.
I'm excited.
It literally, you can get the gist of it in 15 minutes, and you just take the chart, take a picture of it on your phone, and then follow the chart. But
So if
the
you had gone to the
information
library,
is
taken
good.
a photo, and I would have been good to go.
But you should have spent at least 15 minutes skimming through
I've done that,
just
yeah.
to see. So the philosophy is really good. And he just is trying to teach you how to run a marathon and not hurt yourself, which is all we want.
Yeah.
And so we wanted to do a Disney marathon. While we were there this last week, they had it. And they have 4 a year, but this looks like the best one for us. And our minivan driver was saying about 50% of the participants are walking. And we
That
said,
sounds our kind of
that's
marathon.
great. So that's what we want to do. Extremely fun and very low level of commitment.
So I saw on the marathon that when you go through the Animal Kingdom portion, some people take a quick break to do a run on Expedition Everest and then continue their marathon. They take a little
That's
3
so
minute.
fun.
Is that fun?
So we really want to do it. So the sign up is in March, and we'll get all of our devices going and we'll try to sign up.
Yeah.
So I'm
Sounds
really excited. And that's it. That's all I wanted to.
Yeah. Awesome.
He wants to work.
Work, take a nap, same thing.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jarrod went. Then I went to pick up my son from school. Now I'm back. So I wanted to talk about what my goals are. So what I've learned about myself in my 43 years of life on this earth is that I'm most motivated by short or midterm goals. And when I say short, I can mean literally 1 minute. If I don't want to do something, if I just do it, tell myself, okay, just 1 minute, and then you can quit. That really helps me. Midterm, I'm thinking about 6 weeks, but really, truly about 4 weeks is about the most my motivation can handle. So when I was in school, I did really well with the kinds of goals that you had to set. You've got a whole semester, and then you've got tests, quizzes, homework, and then maybe a midterm, and then your final exam. When it was harder for me was when you've got a whole semester and then one exam on the last day. Not impossible because everyone else is in the same boat, but it's not my favorite. So what my plan is still, it's been kind of a slow start to the year, but I want to make a vision board, which to me seems totally lame and ridiculous. But now that I'm older and I accept the reality of how I'm motivated, I think also necessary because when I can see this visually with some idea of what I want to do, then I can break down each goal into a subpart, no matter how small, and then just make checklists and just check those things off. Of course, there's some goals that you can't always do that. It's not always linear, but I like to start knowing that I'm for sure if the path is straight and narrow, I'm going to veer off that straight and narrow and I'm going to be crooked and windy. But hopefully we're going to wind our way back to the straight and narrow. So my first goal, which is the easiest one because I already have signed up for it, is a challenge with my calorie, nutrient, exercise tracking app, Macro Factor. And I love this app so much. I'm on the subreddit for it. This is just a marketing ploy for them, I know, but I love it anyway. They did a 100-day challenge. So you submit your before pictures and then you set a goal, which can be to gain muscle, lose fat, or stay the same weight. And then, maybe you tell a little bit about your story and then you submit your final pictures. So I'm really excited about that because, again, it's kind of midterm. It's a little bit long term for me. I need to be tracking my food every day anyway, so this helps me. And so I've already submitted my pictures. My plan is to cut a little bit until I can get down maybe 5 or 10 pounds, just still within the healthy BMI range, but I'm right at the top and I want to get a little bit lower. And then once I'm at a good place, I'm going to switch to bulking. So hopefully that's before the 100 days are over. And I'm hoping to gain about 5 pounds of muscle. That would be amazing. Probably realistically, the fastest I could do that would be in 2.5 or 3 months. And that's if everything is going good. So I probably wouldn't gain 5 pounds, but I would try to eat about 200 calories over my daily expenditure. So that'll be interesting. That's a whole new challenge, figuring out the right amount of medication and the right things to eat to hit that 200 calories over. because that would put me at about 2,300 calories. And that sounds very challenging to eat that much of healthy food, a good amount of protein, good amount of veggies. That's a lot of food. The thing is that this is not for everyone. The reason why I feel like it's good for me is because I am not moralizing whether I succeed or fail because I have this medication and I don't know how to explain it. It's just like I set goals and then I meet my goals and the medication makes sure that that happens. Now, it's a little bit slow as the weight loss has slowed down, but I have all the confidence from losing the weight previously that I just know stay the course, just be consistent, change things a little bit here and there, but just be consistent and you will meet your goals eventually. And that is what is crazy. So if I start to feel obsessive or anxious or worried or moralizing or guilty or any negative emotions about it, then I will stop. I have no problem with stopping that and not submitting after photos. But if I can just fuel my body in a way that supports my goals and I use the medication to help me do that, then I am so excited about this one because it's a great midterm goal that's already set for me. My second goal is to do at-home workouts and reviews. And I have had issues with my gym. I'm not loving how crowded it is now. I can go downstairs. So we live in an apartment. So I can go to the fitness center, but they don't have quite everything that I would love. So I think what I'm going to do is a series of at-home workouts, and I want to do them for, say, a month for each different series, and then do a review for you guys and let you know how they work for someone who just started, GLP-1s within the last year and really is not an expert, like a beginner worker outer. I feel a lot more confident because I've done Pilates and I've been doing some heavy weightlifting, but I I am a beginner and I'm not a naturally athletic person at all. I work on moving my body functionally and in alignment, and I've always done that, but I'm not an athlete. So I want to do reviews for you guys if you're like me, where I'm not really a natural athlete, or maybe in the past, guess what? Didn't make the junior high basketball team or volleyball or any team. I am not an athlete. So I'd like to do reviews for you guys, sort of geared towards people like us, not geared towards people who work out all the time and are just looking for a new workout. I'd like to do some little recaps, some tips, and talk about how the routines affect me. So that's my goal for all of us, I guess. And then the other thing that I wanted to focus on was HRV, which stands for heart rate variability. My Apple Watch tracks it if you have an iPhone in the health app. And then my Aura Ring, which I'm not wearing now, tracks it. And I can see that it's very strongly affected by my lifestyle, my overall lifestyle. So what really affects it for me is not getting enough sleep, low quality sleep where my heart rate is high and doesn't lower, usually will also give me a bad HRV. Drinking any amount of alcohol before I sleep, at least maybe one drink or more, wrecks my HRV. And then just getting sick, and I've been sick for 3 weeks, so my HRV isn't great. But other things that are supposed to help, maybe theoretically, I'm going to try them out over this year, is having a consistent schedule, consistent wake up, consistent bedtime, and consistent eating times. So that sounds really challenging because I'm very disorganized, but I'd like to try doing that. It's also recommended to do some cardio, and I don't know if that's the long, slow, steady state cardio or is it the HIIT cardio? But I would like to try doing both. And then also meditating during the day or doing some kind of relaxation during the day is really good. I also played around with taking a hot bath and see how that affects my HRV. I think it negatively impacts it. Also, I think staying hydrated. And then one that is really interesting is supposedly you can do biofeedback to raise your HRV. I believe that mine is either just genetically set kind of low, it's at 30, or I have just not been able to care for my health over the years and it's gotten low and could get high. But I was talking to my friend who was like, "Oh, I'm so unhealthy now." And we both checked our HRV and hers was like 90 and mine was 30. And I was like, "I'm doing everything I can." So I really want to slowly incorporate these habits, just start with one at a time and try to stick with just that one for at least a month, see if I think it helps my HRV. And eventually I'd like to get it up to 60 to 70. So I think that would double it. But there have been some nights where it goes up to 60. Very, very rarely. Usually it's around 30, 35. But yeah, I'd love to get it up higher. And, in that vein, I'll probably have to be sleeping 8 hours a night. I love sleep. 8 hours a night is hard to get, but I feel best when I'm getting it. So, I mean, is it the worst thing to set a goal to get more sleep and just really pamper your body? No. Is it extremely difficult when you have a 3-year-old? Yeah, that's so hard. So that's my goal. And then my long-term goal, my overall goal, my goal that's going to go on the vision board is putting my health first. So I was raised where you put Jesus first, then others, then yourself. And I think that's a really nice idea because it tells you, hey, you shouldn't just neglect yourself. You should take care of yourself. But because of the way, in Texas, as women, the way that we were socialized in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s is actually you just take care of everyone else. You put yourself last and just deal with it. And by the way, if you are taking care of yourself, it's only to make other people feel more comfortable or satisfied with you. Taking care of yourself is only for other people. There's this show, I want to put clips in here. I don't know if it's legal. There's a show called Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. I love this show so much. And every time I talk about this, I hear the song from the show going through my head where she's like, put yourself first in a sexy way. And that is totally, she's about my age. That is what we were taught. Put yourself first in a sexy way. Do it for him. So this is me putting myself first in a non-sexy way, doing it only for myself. However, to put myself like that is so vague. That is not a smart goal. So I know that to have success, I need something that is like that school structure. So I need accountability. I need external motivation. I need somebody who's going to give me gold stars. I need to please somebody. So I've got various coaches or my Pilates instructor. And so I need to work on ways to put in some kind of accountability. I was talking to a friend who said I was doing really great when I was working next to the Y, and I found a trainer there who was in school. And if I didn't show up, he didn't get paid. So I never missed a session with him. And it was pretty affordable because it was at the Y. And I love that idea. If I can find someone where their finances are dependent on me showing up, yeah, I will definitely be there. Another idea I had is we've got a babysitter now that can watch my daughter. And I really want my husband and I to start doing some kind of fitness classes, whether it's at our gym. We were playing pickleball for a while, but I don't know if you can see outside my window. It is cold and it looks cold and it's yucky. So I don't want to play pickleball, at least not outside. My Pilates teacher was saying she went to Barry's and really enjoyed it. And I would have to take it easy if I went there, but that looks really fun. My mother-in-law started going to Orange Theory and she loved it. So I feel like that's kind of like Barry's. Just go and take it easy and, it should be fun. Or maybe do a spin class. And then the person I was talking to who had the trainer goes to a Pilates place where you can buy a package and you get a free coffee, a latte, or a tea beverage or something every day. And I feel like, I don't know, I think that kind of cancels itself out, but I still love this concept. So I was going to look at that and try a couple of classes. Now, is Pilates a huge calorie burn? No. But when I do Pilates, I feel really good and strong and just aligned. And it just makes me feel really, really good. I don't really care what it is. I don't really care if it's a weight class or a cardio class or whatever. I just want it to be fun and I want to feel good afterwards. I do not want to suffer unless that suffering feels good. But there's a certain point where it's like, oh, no, this is too much. So saying yes to myself is such a shift in mindset. But if I don't carve out time and space and value for my health, nobody else is going to do it for me, right? Because once you get to the point where your partner is saying, I'm really worried about you and I'm worried about your health, that's probably 5 years too late. And I have to come to the point where I deserve to have the most health for the longest amount of time that I can possibly have. And it scares me so much to think about losing my vitality, but we're all going to do it at some point, either slowly or all at once. So it'll happen, but I would like to go as long as possible without that. And as far as food goes, my goal is to track. But the other thing is, I am just still kind of concerned about my heart. And I'm kind of playing around with this idea of getting more into the low-fat vegan meals, like I talked about earlier with Jarrod, just to always have those prepped. I always have that Jennifer Aniston salad prepped, but maybe having 2 or 3 of those so that every meal of the day, I'm able to just grab and go and get my veggies. So yesterday, I tried a similar salad that was chickpea based with onions, parsley. I mean, I swear everything I eat is basically vinegar, parsley, onions, and protein. So it was chickpeas with these things. And then a bit of the aquafaba, which you make a sauce out of, and then salt and pepper and vinegar. It was quite nice. So I think I'd like to do more of that. And I just want to be clear that when I'm talking about these goals, I'm really trying to stay away from moralizing. And if you hear that from me, I do not mean it. And it's only because there's something in my mindset that still needs to be fixed. Because the best thing that this medication has done for me is to realize, oh, this is a health condition. And these extra things that I'm doing, they're just helping to manage it. The medication is allowing me to use these tools, but they hopefully will give me more health, vibrancy, vitality, energy for as long as possible. But what I know about myself, what I finally had to accept, is that I am not motivated by getting to the end of my journey. In fact, I'm the kind of person who would walk out of finals in school and feel like absolute garbage, anxiety worse than before finals, just feeling like a failure, horrible. I always felt horrible when it was over. Did I do good enough? There's more I could have done. I never felt like I did my best, even when now in retrospect, I did do my best, but I always felt like a failure. And I will say, even when I think about my body and I think about where I am in this journey, when I was earlier in the journey, I always felt really happy because I was able to just be like, hey, there's no finish line. But now I'm like, am I getting closer to a finish line? Do I want to be finished? What do I want my body to be like? I want to be feeling great. I want to be able to run around with my kids and like, I don't know. She wants me to do somersaults. I feel like somersaults is a little much, but I would like to be able to do something physical with my kids. I do not think that somersaults is in the cards for me, but when I do Pilates, I do the rolling like a ball, so I sort of do the backwards version. But like I want to be able to do almost anything my daughter demands of me. And so there's not really a goal for what my body will look like, but the problem is that when you lose weight and you see yourself in the mirror, you start to feel like, oh, my body looks different. Oh, that's weird. Oh, this is just, and it still just throws me off. So it's probably something, well, definitely something I need to talk to a therapist about. What motivates me is a journey, having a coach, having accountability, and not saying, oh, you're going to be able to fit into this, buy yourself a pair of skinny jeans. Well, not skinny jeans, but when you lose weight, you can fit into these jeans. Or oh, just do a diet for 3 weeks and go to this event. And then, like Kim Kardashian style, you can have 12 donuts right afterwards or whatever. The journey is the reward. So if I'm not enjoying the process, if I start those at-home workouts and I just don't like a particular series, I'm just going to stop because the process is the reward. That's literally all I get. So I got to enjoy it. So the way that I want to stay on track is I've got the regular check-ins. I can use my Me360 app. I can use my macro factor food tracker. But for things like actually putting on muscle, it's really hard to know. So I want to get another DEXA scan in about 3 months from now. So that's my roadmap is short and midterm goals are the best for me. Doing the emotional work that we just talked about that I need to do. Oh, and as talked about with my husband, the world's easiest marathon or maybe half marathon. I don't know, but I feel really good about that marathon book by Jeff Galloway. It's very motivating. And I used to run before and I used that book. And you just start off really small, like 30-minute run walks 3 times a week. And you work up from there and you put walk breaks into every run. And you actually start with your walk breaks before you need them. The most important break you take is in the first mile. So when somebody is telling you, hey, take it easy, or else you're going to hurt yourself, it just feels very safe. So the goal is to not hurt ourselves for sure. So want to do at-home workout reviews. I want to boost that HRV. That's going to be a little trickier because I don't really know what gets it. So I look forward to collecting data on that. That seems really fun. And my Aura Ring has little tags where you can track the difference in your lifestyle that day. So hopefully that'll help. And so please let me know in the comments if you are setting similar goals or if anyone has tips for biofeedback or what works for you if you're motivated like me. If you're one of these people who's just super motivated and super on top of everything, I am not really sure that you should leave me tips because you're probably like, what's wrong with you? Just get it together. But I have the hardest time staying focused on one path. So if you, like me, cannot stay focused, please send me your tips. And also, if there are any at-home fitness programs that you want me to review, I would love to do that. It'll just keep me motivated and it's fun for me. And remember that your journey can look totally different from mine. We all have this very different emotional piece, right? Because in addition to having a disease, our minds have been told all these different things from our culture for the most of us. So the most important thing is figuring out how that emotional part works for us with our individual sort of DNA of our emotions. And then how does the food, lifestyle, medication, exercise, how does that work for us with our physical body and the hormones and the genes that make up our bodies? So this is, and then of course we're going to change as time goes on. So this is a lifelong journey, but oh my gosh, what is it like for you guys to start the year already having seen some success, have some success in your rearview mirror, and just think, I have a medication that's going to help me meet my goals. And you know what? And also, I don't have to be perfect. I just have to improve my wellness and improve my life and hopefully improve my longevity and health span. All right. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope that this video was helpful for you in some way or sparked an idea, or maybe you have some advice for me. Please like, subscribe, share your own goals below. We're in this together. But the most important thing is that you take care of yourself because you deserve it. And I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.